Hello and welcome to the MTG-Profits podcast. This is episode 23. We're glad to have you with us. My name is Andy, and with me as always is my co-host Evan.
What's up, everybody?
And we're here talking about Magic the Gathering finance and news, as well as other smattering of information about other card games and any other craziness we see out there. I think it's been a relatively quiet week here in the Magic world. A couple little tidbits that we've picked up on as our spies, our Demir spies on the ground have come up with in our spy thopters.
And before you get too much into it, we're going to just reiterate to the listeners to check out the website and also YouTube as well. But if anybody wants to check out the website, we've got some pretty good information there. Head on over, check out MTGprofits.com.
Absolutely, and check out, look up MTG Profits 2 on YouTube, and you can listen to podcasts there, or watch, more excitingly, watch some of our drafts that we've, well, I shouldn't say drafts, some of our Magic Arena matches that we've played.
That's right.
We battle it out, and those are fun to watch. So.
And you know, one other thing too, if anybody is interested, we're toying with the idea of slightly changing the format a little bit. I think Andy and I talked about considering more like a stream of consciousness type of episode or show, and maybe something slightly less episodic, but that would just be a little bit different. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, just let us know.
Yeah, what are your thoughts and comments? Would you like more stream of consciousness? Do you like kind of the format we have now? Do you want more guests? What can we do to improve here? We're certainly looking for your feedback on things.
Absolutely.
So we can get as crazy as you want.
Andy already has his clothes off as we speak.
Exactly. I got that, and I got my beer in my hand, and that's how I enjoy playing Magic. I like to be comfortable.
That's right. That's right. Life is too short to be uncomfortable.
Exactly. I'm here behind the power and obscurity of my computer, so that's the internet for you. So.
Exactly.
Got to be comfortable, you know.
Absolutely.
No judgment here, you know. Or summary judgment if you want to do 3 damage, I guess.
Yes.
5 damage on your turn.
But yeah, you wanted to start with your...
Yeah, let's hop in here. So one news item we reported on, this was a couple weeks ago now, and we've been following a little bit, was the Ravnica Allegiance Mythic edition, which, you know, we were on the fence on, and we decided to go for it, and it really has turned out to be kind of a bust, as Wizard has kind of fumbled through this release and made some changes to it. And kind of along those lines, there's been some news reported here by people about getting multiple boxes of Ravnica Allegiance Mythic Edition that they ordered instead of what their actual order was. So, for example, they ordered 2 boxes and they received 4 boxes. So there were some apparently shipping mistakes in the delivery and sending of these Mythic Editions. So effectively, people got double the amount that they ordered. Now, this wasn't across the board.
Unfortunately not, because we would have liked to receive 2 copies.
Exactly. We would have happily liked to report on the 2 copies that we received. But we were among the lucky or unlucky ones who got exactly what they ordered. So, you know, luck was not on our side on this mistake. So
apparently about 500 extra boxes went out, free boxes. So kind of curious that it was a relatively pretty good amount of free stuff. It wasn't like 5; it was a substantial amount. So.
Yeah, that's a significant number, and you know that's money that they basically just gave away. So they,
exactly.
You know, $250 at 500 copies. What are you talking?
10,000, 12,500. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good amount of money just to kind of blow, and then you throw in the shipping and whatever else, and
you got some, I'm sure it's some guy in a little warehouse, and he's sitting there getting $8 an hour, and he's like, getting confused by the orders coming in because he only ever ships pallets out to distributors, and all of a sudden he's getting all these orders and he's working overtime, he's disgruntled. He never
Mm-hmm.
has to do this. He doesn't understand why the company's doing it, and he's just throwing the boxes together and just shipping them out.
Yep.
And some people are getting extra.
Do you think this might be due to the whole kind of using the Hasbro eBay store to do it? Maybe something with their, I don't know, how the shipping and ordering and software is working on that?
I mean, I'm sure they just have a giant list of all the boxes that need to go and where they need to go. But like I said, the people on the shipping docks at WotC are they're used to sending giant pallets out to the distributors. I mean,
Yeah,
we're hundreds of boxes in a pallet, so
sure.
they're used to just shipping these mega things out. They probably are not used to doing 10,000 individual orders where the guy has to put
Absolutely.
a label on a box and there's like a lot of manual labor associated with this. I mean, even when you sell something on eBay, you sit there, you got to package it up.
You got to
You got to
package
Yeah,
it,
you got to put it
the
in this little
address,
yeah.
postage, yeah.
It's a non-trivial amount of manual labor. And when you're not used to doing it, and all of a sudden you go from having to process 2 orders a day to having to process 10,000, I could see how it could go wrong.
I could, but that seems like grossly wrong.
It
I mean,
does.
I could see one or two, absolutely, but
Yeah, I agree.
500?
Uh,
That's a lot.
when Wizards does something stupid, they go big. They don't barely half-ass it. They full-ass it.
I guess so. X equals 500 in this case.
Exactly. You know, they're just and they're so shady. The company, like, they try so hard to even keep these things sort of unknown. Like I don't know if you read this, but they had some of the people were saying that they had I don't know if you recall this, but it was a limited edition item,
Okay.
maximum limit of 2 boxes per account, or 2 boxes. I forget how they worded it, whether it was two per household,
Yeah.
two per account. Essentially, it was a two per account situation.
Okay.
And because they did not sell out, they anticipated selling out of the product, but after like the first 18 hours and the sales started to trickle down, they had some people that in the early rush were ordering like 10 boxes, 12 boxes.
Yeah.
They were ordering like way more than normal because it essentially allowed for it. And since Hasbro didn't sell all the boxes they thought they were going to sell, they're honoring those sales. And what they've done is extra sneaky and a little bit shady. But they're not only are they honoring those sales of 10 per order instead of 2 per order, but because they're trying to hide the amount of boxes they've sold on eBay, not only are they taking the listing down, but the listings are being deleted.
Hmm.
And you can't delete a listing on eBay unless you have somebody on the inside that works at eBay deleting the listing,
Yeah.
which is why they had some people saying that they got messages saying, "Don't worry, the listing has been taken down, and it may show your order is being canceled, but your order will be fulfilled." I don't know if you came across
Okay.
that
Yeah, I
message.
actually received that. Yep.
The
Yep. I got that message. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just ignore this.
Exactly. And the reason they were sending that out is because they were having the listed items actually deleted from eBay's website. And that does 2 things for them. It accomplished them being able to hide how many units sold, which is a grand total of, as far as I can tell, 14,000 units sold. Um, and that means there are 6,000 floating around somewhere. We'll get to that in a minute. But so what that does is by having the listing deleted, it makes it so that you cannot send them back, because on eBay you would have to go to your previously purchased items and
Hmm.
open a case and send an item back. So
Sure.
what's happening is people that ordered 10 of these boxes thinking, "Great, I'm going to flip them and make money."
Yeah.
Now they're realizing their folly and how unfortunately they're not going to be able to make any money on these boxes, and they're going to be sitting on 10 of these things. So you've got people holding $2,500 worth, and these people are probably not rich, and they thought they could just flip
Sure.
it, and now they're stuck with all 10 because they can't return the product.
Yeah.
So they're hiding the
Wow.
amount that was sold, and they're making themselves immune from returns.
Wow, that seems triple sneaky. I mean,
It,
the first
it
part too,
is.
you were saying that they had to have some sort of eBay help to pull that off.
They did. They did. They specifically would have needed help to do that because they can't pull the listing. They can pull the listing, but they can't delete the listing.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
the really some shady shenanigans going on. And during the sales of the product, like I said, the first couple hours they were flying off the shelves, but the
Yeah.
sales trickled so slowly that they had to pull the listings and delete them so that people didn't know how many sold. So they pulled one listing that went out at like 9,800 boxes, and then they pulled the
Yep, I
other
remember seeing
listing
that. Yeah.
when it reached about 4,000. And I think they may, I wonder if they even still have them listed. I wonder. The but in any event, so Wizards is up to the shadiness as per
Wow.
their usual, you know. So I guess
That
they figure, well,
seems.
we weren't going to sell these anyway. Let that guy keep all 10 of his boxes.
Yeah, sure, why
So,
not? You know,
so
we didn't really mean limit too.
So what do you think is going to happen with the residual 6,000? I've got a couple of ideas because I
Gosh.
can tell you one thing for damn sure. They're not going to burn them.
Oh
They're
no.
they're not
No.
going to keep them limited edition. They will get them out to us. And I've got I think probably two things are going to happen to those boxes. I think they will send them out to the Channel Fireballs of the world and the Star City Gameses of the world,
Like
and
promo things? Is that
yeah, and allow them to sell them as store exclusives,
that makes sense?
you
Yep, I could
know,
absolutely see that happening.
potentially even sending them out to distribution as per their usual method of selling
Sure.
cards. I could see them doing either and or both, you know.
So do you think we're gonna see this on Amazon?
Well, I don't think we'll see it on Amazon. I don't think so. But
Okay.
I think it probably will go to the larger stores at a pretty steep discount. I think they'll probably sell them to the stores at what they normally sell Masters boxes at. So I
Okay.
think they'll probably sell them to the stores directly for about 140 a box. So that would not surprise me. And then the stores will probably gladly gobble them up, like the Star City games and the Channel Fireballs of the world and the cool stuffs and all that. They'll probably suck as many of those as they can and then sell them and then flip them at 238 a box, something like
I
that.
yeah, I totally agree with you. That makes total sense. We'll have to keep an eye on those storefronts and see, excuse
Mm,
me, if they pop up.
Yeah, it'll be curious to see. But just a lot of shady stuff. Once again, Wizards really reaming their customers.
Yeah, yeah, it's like we said, they just cannot seem to get it right here. It's always it's not just we're selling a product, we're selling a product, asterisks, with some caveats, I guess.
Exactly. So I guess that's all the news I could come up with the Mythic Edition stuff. And other
Yeah.
than that, it's been kind of a relatively slow news week, at least as far as I can tell. Not too much exciting going on.
No, no, I think everything is full swing into Ravnica Allegiance, all the different
Yeah.
events that are going on with that, the formats, and what cards are becoming the hot cards and hot decks. Um, I
Have
think
you been playing a little bit online, I assume?
I have a little bit, not a whole lot, but I have got a couple games in here and there.
Nice. Me too. I'm in the middle of one of my drafts right now as well. Finally, the drafts got cheap again. So,
Yes, that is one other newsworthy item on the arena. There was a Magic Arena originally during, I guess, the pre-release week and maybe even the
yeah.
release week as well.
Even still,
Uh,
it's harder to find the cheaper version. You have to go
yes,
into that little slider bar on the side to
yes. It
find.
used to. They were. What was it? What was it initially? 2,500 gems to play.
1,500.
1,500. 1,500 gems to do a Ravnica Allegiance ranked draft.
Yes, or competitive draft. I forget what they're
Competitive draft.
calling it. I
Now,
can't
now it's
remember what they're calling
changed.
it.
So now it is back down to what the normal draft prices were, which were 5,000 gold or 750 gems, which I think is a much better deal for doing that.
I totally agree.
Because at 1,500 gems, I was not interested.
No, that's a definite no-go for me.
Because what do we say the conversion of gems was?
Gosh.
Um,
Oh no, I forget.
eh.
I've forgotten.
Anyway, it was not a good. Um,
It wasn't a great. Yeah, it was. I think it's 700 and. I think it's 900 gems for $10 or something. I think a gem is like a penny.
okay.
So I think when you get like 10,000 gems, which would be one. Yeah, I think it's about $10 for 1,000 gems or some such. So
Okay.
it's close to that, if that's not exactly right.
Yeah.
Because I think yeah, it's about right.
Yeah. So anyway, that far more expensive to pay for that in gems than how it was previously.
Well,
But
especially since it was like the normal price was 750 gems, and the special pre-release pricing was 1,500. So it was
yeah.
double the cost. So it was like $15 to draft instead of $7.50.
Ugh.
So I mean that's a pretty steep difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, not worth. It's worth waiting a week, as I did. And then also you could do it with the gold instead, which is how my preferred method. So
Absolutely. I think it's best to start with the gold because you can just accomplish that through your daily quests
exactly, for
and
free.
for free.
I still to this day have not put in any more than that original 4.99 purchase of whatever that thing was, the intro pack or whatever they were
The
calling
intro
it.
pack. Well, you did buy the Planeswalker code or whatever.
That's true. That's right. I did for 3.99. I did buy that Planeswalker or the code from the original Ravnica
Mm-hmm.
Guilds of Ravnica to do a draft online. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep. You're exactly right.
Yeah, I did basically the same thing. I've spent whatever is going to come up, less than $10 on the
Yeah.
on play.
Yeah, and that's how I like it.
I think,
You
yeah,
know,
absolutely. I mean, it's just priced and set up well enough that you do not have to spend money on it,
exactly.
which
And
is
I don't know
ideal.
about you, but I'll log in almost daily just to get those daily quests.
You know,
And I have like, I'm sure you do as well, decks of like every color and most every color combination so that you can, get 500 for casting blue and black spells. So I'll just play
exactly.
blue and black and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Get it as fast as you can.
Another thing, I don't know if you've noticed this, but they seem to have done away with ranking in casuals. Have you noticed that? There's no more rank anymore.
Oh.
I
Well,
had
I know when you go to play, you can either do ranked or I forget what they call it, just play or
You
whatever
can
it is.
for sealed, but not for constructed anymore. They've done away with the ranking as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
Like before, there used to be ranking, and I know because I was happy when I had ratcheted all the way up into silver, but now the ranking is gone. There
Okay.
is still ranking for ranked play, but not for casual. Like before, if you just hit play now,
Yeah.
you would have a rank, and
Yes.
they've
Yes.
done away with that.
Yeah, they have. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, which makes it people even more prone to just dropping instantly after they don't get the draw they want. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I've noticed a
Hmm.
slight uptick in droppers.
Really? I have
Yeah.
not. I haven't noticed anything. I've noticed a definite uptick in certain types of decks. Um,
I've noticed a subtle uptick in the droppers.
but
Like
not in
I'll
the
have people
droppers.
even drop even during the mulligan time, which
Oh
honestly is a
wow.
royal pain in the ass because it takes forever. Because apparently, like if they drop during that time, the timer countdown. I don't know how long that timer countdown is, but it feels like it takes
It's for
forever sometimes.
forever.
It's
Yeah.
like 30 seconds or something. But when they're mulliganing, it gives them like 90 seconds. So
Ugh.
it's really long when they drop during that moment.
It's
You
pretty
know,
bad.
it's awful. But I tell you, like, which is also part of the reason I dislike playing like best of three games, is because sometimes you'll be playing against someone who's so slow, and they just seem to be gaming the slowness. Like they seem to almost wait until their thing count starts counting down just to like wear you out mentally.
Yeah, you wonder, are they actually that slow? Is this some sort of new player or something? Or is this on purpose that they're just trying to frustrate you or
Yeah. Hope you drop or
hope
hope you
you
disconnect.
drop? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there may be something to that, to be honest. Because sometimes the slow play seems really painful.
Yeah, because you figure that most people playing are not amateurs. They're
They
not
don't seem to be.
complete beginners. And if that's the case, you should be relatively quick on your decision making, especially just with the mulligan ones. I could see in maybe some other cases, during gameplay, perhaps maybe a little longer decision. But like on your mulligan, I feel it's pretty cut and dry for the most part.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the what I don't know, but that's miserable.
Yeah. And I guess just circling back for a second on one of the other things you said about, I feel right now the pricing model is pretty good on the arena. You don't have to devote a whole lot of money on it, which will be interesting to see how that continues or if it changes. I was just looking at some different mobile apps this weekend and reading people's comments on things, and one of the comments I saw over and over again was, this app was great, this game was great, when it came out, and I played and played, and then it was, well, now you have to pay to win or pay to play, or now it's you have to spend more on this, and it's no longer as good.
People getting frustrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I don't
not
know
sure.
if it'll ever change like that for this. I would hope not, and I think I'm sure they make their money some way on this.
Yeah, I'm sure they must be making enough.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I don't know if I did send you that picture, like the how Wizards anticipates people feeling about their game versus the reality, where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I remember seeing that.
so
Yeah.
hilarious. They show people like partying hard and like screaming into the camera with like planeswalker purpley stuff in the background, and there's like a
Hmm.
little quote that says, "Everyone will know your name," and then like, and then they have like GP top eight New Jersey.
Yeah.
There's not even a camera. There's like just the eight players sitting around a dead table and there's no one around. And it's like
Oh.
cardboard boxes everywhere and like nobody even watching the game. So I was like, oh, so funny.
Oh gosh, that's crazy.
Absolutely. But I know we saved. I know you saved some picks from last week
I've
because
got a bunch of picks. We talked before about if what would we want to buy out of this set, and I have a huge list of things that I wanted to buy, and I've still got a bunch more on my list.
I've got like a buy that's more of a long-term buy, not from this current set, and also a sell recommendation.
Okay.
You can, I guess,
Well,
maybe hit some
I'll
of yours
fire it
first.
off first
Yeah.
here. One card I thought that was interesting, and I see potential for this in the future, and it's pretty inexpensive um, at the moment. This is another new one. Let me get my numbers up here. Um, but this is a Gruul card, and this is the Cindervines. I don't know if you've seen that. It is an enchantment.
Let's take a look.
It is one red, one
Oh
green.
yeah.
Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, it deals one damage to them. Okay, that's pretty good. And then pay one, sacrifice it to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And it does 2 damage to that permanent's controller.
Yeah, this is pretty good. It's really good in these colors too. Like I think it's like ooh,
This is
just
great. I mean,
it
if
does.
anything, it's just very efficient. I mean,
Hmm.
it's doing a damage. It's a disenchant on a stick, and it does some damage.
Exactly. It helps you win the race.
Yeah. So really great. This is a real kind of anti-blue hate card, I would say, or maybe even just against some Rakdos or mono red. I mean, it's gonna do a little bit of punishment back. And
It's pretty nice.
if you get in trouble with an artifact or an enchantment,
Which can happen.
yeah,
I mean, that can shut you down.
exactly. Well, sacrifice it. Oh, sacrifice and give the person some
A
damage.
shock. Yep.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
great.
great.
Yeah, it's great. Plus,
Really
it's an
good.
enchantment, so it's hard to get rid of too. So I really
Absolutely.
kind of
I
like
think
that.
this is great. I mean, if you're playing a Gruul deck, red green, you're being fast, you're being aggressive. This way you don't have to put in that, naturalize or whatever. You can you
Yeah,
have
this is
this
so much more fun.
just give a little extra damage to your opponent.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, I don't think this is ever gonna, skyrocket, but I mean, I could see this creep up a little bit. I mean, we're talking.
If this finds a home in some kind of like standard deck, I'd see it making maybe up to $3.
Exactly. I could see a top maybe up around 3. I mean, right now it's down around 1 or so, a little over 1.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a good card.
Relatively inexpensive and a great card.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good at what it does. So
yeah, that's a lot for just 2 mana.
It does a lot. Yeah.
I mean, that could win you games right there. Just 1 damage a turn. 1 damage a turn.
Slow but sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you said you had
I do. One of my I guess my only for this week purchase recommendation is a card that I've had on my radar for quite a while, and it's always been too expensive. And I've never seen it this low, and I think it might be worth getting at this point. And I'll go back and look, but I really think this is probably a buy at this point, even though it's still a little bit pricey. I've never seen this card this cheap. And it's an old Lorwyn card, and it's Gaddock Teague.
Oh,
and,
yes, yeah.
It's like a green and a white, and he's a 2/2 bear, but he says non-creature spells with converted mana cost of 4 or less can't be cast.
Mm-hmm.
And non-creature spells with X can't be cast.
Yep.
So that guy is great, and he's like 950 right now. So I've never seen him cheaper than that. I think it's time to start thinking about buying old Gaddock. So that's my purchase. It's not from this current set, which I was a little. I guess I should have been sort of keeping it to the new stuff.
Oh, that's fine. That's
the
fine.
deal was too good. I was like, oh gosh.
Excuse me. It's funny you should mention that. I had one, and I sold him, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago.
Nice. What'd you sell it for?
I think it was in the 30s.
Yeah, it's great. You know what? That was the Lorwyn version. You may even be able to get them cheaper. Let me check the other versions.
Yeah, I sold the Lorwyn version of him.
Let's see. Yeah, Lorwyn version is going for $9 and well, actually that's for heavy play. For moderate play, $11. Okay. However, the reprinted Ultimate Masters version, $7 near mint.
Wow.
That's the stuff. So that's what you want to do. Scarf that little boy up. Boop, boop,
yeah, gobble him up.
So pretty good. Pretty good.
Wow.
So
nice.
That's my buy for the week.
Very cool.
He just does everything you want in a
really
green
good.
White creature deck.
He's really good. White green. Wow.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
So good for creature decks. It's like, oh, you want to cast counter spells? Not anymore, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to cast fireballs? I don't think so.
Shut you
no
down,
shots
boy.
For you? No murders? No nothing.
Nothing. For so cheap.
So
cheap.
Yeah.
God.
Then it just becomes a creature war, which is kind of fun, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes that's kind of just fun.
Kind of what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what's your other pick for the week?
I've got 2 other picks here.
Oh, nice.
One is well, I guess we'll stick in Gruul here. We've got Nikya of the Old Ways. It's a legendary creature, Centaur Druid, 5/5, 3 colorless, 1 red, 1 green. You can't cast non-creature spells. That's a little bit of a detriment. But Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana of any type that land produced.
Oh, so it's like a mana doubler.
So it's a mana doubler. So for a lot of these, higher casting cost creatures, this
I
is the
wish he
way to
was
go.
cheaper. Yeah, I wish he himself was cheaper to cast.
5 is kind of a lot.
Yeah.
But a 5/5 body is solid.
It is.
And a mana doubler is
Yeah.
pretty good too. Because then it's I had this in the at the pre-release, and it really helped for ramping up because then all those 6 mana, 7 mana things.
Oh yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah, true
and
that.
mana to spare.
Yeah.
You think of talking things like the Ravager Worm, who is a 6 mana guy.
There's a lot. I would say, like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but there seems to be a lot of in the Ravnica Allegiance, a lot of high casting cost creatures that don't seem that awesome. Like
Yeah, I'd agree with
5
that.
mana for like a 2/5 hexproof or something. Or
Yeah.
5 mana for a 3/6 or 6 mana for a 3/6. I'm like, ooh, these are not great. These are not very well costed creatures.
No, there are some bad ones. I mean,
It seems
that's
like I
always
don't
gonna
see too
happen.
much in the efficiency department, I guess. But I guess that would make sense for this guy. You're like, oh, good. You want some expensive green things? Like there was a 6/6 worm that had riot, and it was like 7 mana or something. And I was like, ooh, 7
Yeah.
mana, yikes.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. The Wrecking Beast.
Yeah,
He's
something like that.
6/6 Riot Trample for 7,
Yeah,
which is kind of
7's kind of
pricey.
hard to get to.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
It's
But
hard to
the
get there
other
and survive. That's the thing.
exactly. I mean, the other bonus though too is it kind of does a little mana fixing too. So, well, you know
Yeah,
what? I only have 1 red and 3 greens. Oh, well, now I have
yeah,
2 reds.
true. That's true.
So,
That
much
happens
better.
all the time.
Exactly,
All the
exactly.
time. Ah,
I know that pain too well.
absolutely. I had a very frustrating game earlier today where I had 2 burn spells in hand, and he dropped a 5/5 thing, and I could have killed the creature with 2 of the burns, but I only had 1 red mana, so I couldn't cast them at the same turn. So that thing just
Ugh.
whomped all over me. And of course, like it was like a 5/5 hasty dinosaur, and
Oh
of
my.
course, like it just rolled right in 3 turns. I couldn't stop it. And I eventually just basically died from that because
Yeah.
I never did pull a second red mana for 3 whole turns,
Oh
and
God.
that was like late in the game. I had 1 red mana and 4 green manas, and my
Oh
mana split's
jeez.
like roughly 50/50, so it's just super annoying sometimes.
It's
So you're
super
right, that
annoying.
fixing can really come in handy.
Exactly. And if for anything, let's say you don't even use it for Gruul deck or something, it's still a mana doubler, which is
Exactly.
still good. I mean, I think any chance you have more mana is something you want. So,
Yeah, I could see that being useful in an all creature style deck if you played EDH that way too. Like
yeah,
creatures always come into play effects or something. And he's legendary, so you could make him your commander. That might be kind of
sure.
fun, you know?
Yeah,
I feel like some of these cards that are just fun, they don't get enough play because everybody's after like the best, most bomb cards all the time,
absolutely.
which I
Absolutely.
feel is unfortunate.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he's really not bad. Like you said, he's not going to be, a top high, super competitive, ultra expensive card, but he's still a good card.
exactly. I feel a lot of these things don't get their appropriate play time because they're just not quite tier one. You
Exactly.
know, it's kind of
And right now
unfortunate.
this guy is super cheap. So you can't lose picking him up. I mean, we're
Nice.
talking less than 50 cents. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
like 18 cents for him. Ooh,
exactly.
yeah,
So, you
that's
know
not bad.
what? You can spend the 18 cents. He's
Exactly.
only going to go up
Yeah,
because
yeah,
he
it's hard.
can't really go too much
Can't
more
go
down.
down. It's funny.
I mean, maybe $1. I could see him going up to $1.
Who knows? It just depends.
Yep.
It's a toughie. But 18 cents.
Absolutely.
Slap 4 of him in your next TCG player order.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I
So you
have
said you had
I have
a
a sell
cell? All
recommendation,
right.
and This is a card that spiked up before the unbanning announcement, and it's a really it's only been printed one time as far as I know, and let me double check that, but I'm almost positive it was a singular printing.
Mm-hmm.
And way back in Cold Snap,
Ooh,
not
Cold Snap.
not Ice Age, but Cold Snap. So
Okay, I got
yeah,
I'm using my psychic ability to guess what it is.
this is one that my brother used to play a ton of in his rat deck. He had a like a Ravenous Rat deck
Oh
before he had
gosh,
a
okay,
bunch
I
of
know what it
rats
is.
out there. It's an artifact for 5 mana, which is kind
Hmm.
of expensive, but it says spells you control have ripple 4.
Yes. Yep,
So
I
it's
know what you're talking about.
yeah, the
Yeah,
thrumming
the
stones.
thrumming stone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So it really makes those decks awesome, because all of a sudden you're going to drop out multiple rats on the same turn. It's just going to be awesome. That card now in lightly played condition is selling for $32. So
Man,
I think it's getting to be about time to sell.
time to drop that thing.
Yeah, time to sell that one. So it's kind of like a niche card that isn't really going to ever see tier one play.
Nah.
But it's so I think it's if you have a play, and chances are if you're running those, you've got a bunch of them. You got play
You
sets.
probably got more than one.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're talking $120 for 4 cards.
Yep.
$122 or 128,
Hmm.
and it's like you could buy you could buy a whole box. You could almost buy a box of Iconic Masters for that,
Yeah.
for in the 140s, which I still think might be a slightly undervalued box moving forward. We'll see.
Okay.
But
Hmm.
that would be my sell recommendation for the week.
Nice. Yeah, the thrumming stone. Yeah, definitely one to get rid of. I mean, I wish I had some in
I
my
know it.
collection here,
I
but
know it. You know what? I've got to go through my I got to go through my collection and look for more of those surgical extractions.
oh
I
yeah,
know at one point I had quite a few of those things, and I saw your recommendation to dump,
dump
and
those.
it is time for those to go.
At first, when you mentioned Cold Snap, I was thinking, I think it was in Cold Snap, the Mishra's Bauble.
Oh, that thing's seen so many reprintings though. It was at one point up to $18, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they've reprinted it. I believe in Iconic Masters they reprinted it. So let's see. Cold Snap was the original printing, and then they reprinted it in Iconic Masters. It's down to 357.
Okay.
So, but you are correct. At one point, I want to say it was a $15 card, mostly just because it's got a zero
It
casting
was zero
cost.
casting cost. Yeah,
Yeah,
I sold it. I sold my one or two when it was spiking up.
pretty high. Nice.
So
Yeah, that was a good
I was
call.
happy to drop him.
Yep.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. At this point, I don't know. 350. I'd still probably dump it for 350. It's not that exciting.
Yeah.
So,
What's that? I guess I was also thinking of that other artifact. It looks very similar to this one. It's another artifact. I think it's
there's a
zero.
is it Urza's Bauble?
Maybe it's Urza's Bauble. It's got a blue background on it.
I believe it's Urza's. Let me see. Urza's Bauble.
Hmm.
It's an older one if I remember. Oh,
No,
the Urza's
not
Bauble's
this one.
way back. Ice Age.
No, it's not that one. It's a newer one. It's I'm
It's not one of the
pretty sure it was
Moxies, is
in
it?
the whole Mirrodin, the original Mirrodin cycle.
I know there's some pricey Moxen that was Scars of Mirrodin.
Yeah, no, it's further back than that. I thought it was an Ice Age one, but I could be wrong. Um, anyway, not a crisis, but
I
yes,
know that
cool artifacts,
shielding sphere
especially
also.
the zero casting cost ones. Definitely have a little bit of interest in those. Yeah, the shielding plaques, that was one. Yep.
Why can't I find the shielding sphere? I know that's a card. Hmm. Am I misspelling shielding? S-H-I-E. Shielding. Huh.
hmm.
That's odd. very strange. I know it exists.
Yeah.
Weird.
Huh.
Because I know that was another zero cost. It was a zero cost '06 wall. And
Yeah.
every time it blocked, it got like -0, -1 or something.
Yeah, the shielding sphere. Or shield
Yeah.
sphere.
Yeah, why can I not find it? Shielding.
Shielding sphere. Shield
Maybe
sphere.
it's just shield sphere?
Shield.
It's just shield sphere. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see how much that boy's going for.
Alliances. Yeah, he's not a whole
Wow,
lot.
he's not as much as I would have thought. Only 280.
Yeah.
I mean, that's way better than the Mistress Bauble. Although it's not modern legal, that's why. No. So I guess that's the difference. So. Yeah. So you had one more.
I have one more. I think we might have
recommendation.
talked about this at some point, and it certainly seems familiar to me. But excuse me, in case we hadn't mentioned it, this is another pick I from Ravnica Allegiance. This one is because I think it does something unique. And whenever I see a card that has some sort of unusual ability, especially one that's either been done never or very infrequently, or even not in these particular colors or types, then it certainly gets my interest.
Absolutely.
And this is the Pestilent Spirit from Ravnica Allegiance. It is 2 colorless, 1 black. It's a creature spirit. It's a 3/2 creature. It has Menace and Death Touch, both great. I love both those things.
Yeah, because you're gonna kill 2 creatures when
I'm gonna get in for some hits, and then if I need to, he's gonna do his Death Touch thing and kill something.
Wow, this card's really good. I like it.
But the second ability of him is really what catches the attention, and that says that instant and sorcery spells you control have Death Touch.
Wow, that is so juicy.
So we have never seen something like this for black.
Wow.
We have seen something similar, I think, for white. White. There was one creature, I think, what is it? All your spells have lifelink.
Yeah. Wow, this is awesome. This thing is great. What's that one thing? The Toxic Deluge? Let me see. Toxic Deluge. I think that would go very nicely if I'm thinking of... Yeah, baby.
All creatures get X. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's -X. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I was thinking it was doing damage. I was thinking, wow, you just tap them all for 1 damage and they all die.
No. Of course, yeah, that would potentially kill your creatures, too.
Yeah, that's true, but chances are... I mean, that guy's great because you're just going to roll in... He's going to roll in unblocked for 3 damage every freaking turn. Because if he gets blocked, he's going to kill 2 creatures.
Which is awesome.
It's awesome. I mean,
it's a 2 for 1 right there.
Yeah, he's going to basically be an unblockable creature. I mean, not technically, but no one is going to block his butt.
No one's going to want to block him. And then, you're going to probably work in the instant sorcery spells.
Absolutely.
So
that is looking... I'm almost wanting to build a whole deck around him.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, you're going to do some damage with that. And when you do that damage, it's going to kill anything.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And I mean, wow, he just seems like such a deal. And like I said, this is something we haven't seen, I think, in black at all. We've never seen a black card that is given on a creature that is given an ability to instant and sorcery spells.
That's pretty nice. I'm gonna have to look in standard and see what black spells do damage that are like either have multiple targets or like board wide, because this seems to be like it needs testing on Arena. I'm gonna have to build something around this thing.
Yeah.
This looks like so fun. Some sort of spell heavy deck with, let's see, could I go black-red with it? Let's see. Yeah, you could go black-red with it. Problem solved. There's a lot of red ones that do like 1 damage to all.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That is
the one I'm thinking of is the Soulfire Grandmaster, where he was an older one from, what was it, the Dragons of Khans of Tyrakir in that set. Where he was a 2/2 white creature with lifelink, but he gave your instant and sorcery spells lifelink.
Yeah, this is great. That's a great card as well.
And subsequently, back in, I guess Dominaria, the buy a box promo, which I still don't really agree with, the Fire Song and Sun Speaker for colorless, one red, one white, red instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink.
Oh my.
So similar thing, but much more expensive.
Absolutely.
So those are the only creature cards I'm aware of that have that kind of ability on them.
That's pretty fun. That has like a build around me written all over it.
It does. Although, I wonder though if that's good for the game, I guess, or if something like that is.
You know what?
I don't know.
I like when they explore these kind of aggressive style. I like when they try new things because realistically, it's only going to be legal for a while anyway. So, I think realistically they need to push the boundaries a little bit because the game is getting stale. I feel like some of the mechanics are a little bit fun, but like out of like an entire set, like there'll be like one mechanic that I enjoy. And sometimes I have to reach for that. You know what I mean? And I feel like they almost play it too safe with powerful card abilities because they're like, "Oh, we don't want to break standard, or we don't want to, we don't want to print something too powerful and then ruin the value of some of the older cards that do similar things, ensnaring bridge effects, or they just don't seem to make some of these really cool powerful things anymore, like doubling season, like ensnaring bridge, these cards that are like, $50 cards because they're awesome, and you just like,
they're very awesome.
It's like, why can I not have more new awesome?
I agree with that in part. I mean, I think we've seen some really powerful cards. Maybe they're not new and different cards, but we've seen a lot of powerful cards. I'm thinking a lot about those dinosaurs, some of those green dinosaurs.
They are pushing the envelope with power creatures, but not powerful like effects.
I'll agree with that. We've seen some, exceptionally. Man, that Carnage Tyrant.
He's a beast.
I mean,
he's just awesome.
Wow,
straight up.
He's just awesome.
He's everything you could want in a creature.
Absolutely. So, I mean, even that other guy too. What is he? Well, there's two other big greenies. The Gulta, which I think is
that Carnage Tyrant with his hexproof though. Oh my gosh. I mean, the hexproof's what makes him so awesome. I mean, the other one's like 12/12 trample, but no hexproof, so he dies real easy.
Yeah.
But it's like every once in a while they'll have like some uber powerful creature, which is fine. I like it. Like I remember like the Baneslayer Angel, like 5/5 flying, first strike, lifelink, protection from demons and dragons or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like every once in a while they'll have like some really bomb powerful creatures, which I think is fine, But I do like powerful effects as well, and I feel like they've been like overly careful about doing things like that. I don't know. Like in my mind, I feel like it's been a while since we've seen stuff like I don't know, like just
like the Ensnaring Bridge or
Blood things Moon. Of that nature, or even cards in like even cards like Propaganda, things that just affect the whole board. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They've been reprinted, but they've been reprinted for like modern, but they haven't been used in any standard style.
Yeah.
Like you haven't had too many ways to win other than doing damage or now like slightly more milling. Those seem to be the ways that Wizards wants you to win a game, and they don't want it to be too creative. They don't want you to have too many creative ways to win. Which I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they could do a little bit better. They could push the envelope a little harder. So, I don't know. That's my opinion.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. They might be, trying to play it a little more safe.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. The space allows for more creativity than they're utilizing.
Yeah.
So. Nice. But I guess that's about it for this week.
So let's sum up here. So Devin says you should buy some Gaddock Teagues. He's a awesome
big buyer of the
buy.
card.
He's a great little Kithkin. You should grab him.
Absolutely.
You should also go ahead and sell the Thrumming Stone if you got that.
Yeah.
Way
Quick 30
back
bucks.
from good old
Cold
Ice
Snap.
Age,
Cold
right?
Snap.
Or Cold Snap, excuse me.
Yep.
Cold Snap. And as far as some new things you should pick up, well, go ahead and check out the Cinder Vines, Nakia of the Old Ways, and Pestilent Spirit.
Absolutely. I'm excited about the Pestilent Spirit. If I have enough of the rare tokens online, I may pop a few of those to do something with that. Just seems like fun, and I enjoy it. Although I don't think I can afford dropping 4 wilds.
Yeah,
Four
that is a
harsh.
lot.
It's so
That is a
harsh.
lot. A spoiler alert, you might be seeing this soon.
Excellent. Very good. Well, as always, may all your picks be profitable. Have a great week.
Have a great week, everybody. See ya.